Guys, this is already convoy number 30. This is crazy. With this convoy, we are passing that we have delivered more than 400 pickup trucks. And this is just because of you guys who are donating, who are commenting, liking. All of those things that you do is a big step for helping basically Ukraine to win the war. But also this war is changing fast. That's why we have here more and more drones like this FPV drone here. And we need to more and more think what kind of new solutions will help Ukraine to win the war. How we can turn this war into machines killing orcs. And our team are more and more involved and looking what are the best teams which are doing those solutions. So guys, help us to being more active. Comment, like, do anything that people know the war is going on. And Ukraine will win this. What is your story? Like, what did you do when war started and how you ended up in this brigade?
Okay, initially before the war, I studied medicine in Ukraine. I'm a medical doctor by profession.
You're a doctor?
Yes.
Medical doctor?
Yes, of course. When the war started, I started serving in the armed forces.
But you are originally, you lived all life here or you moved here?
No, I just lived here like 7 years.
And where are you from?
I'm from Nigeria.
You're from Nigeria?
Yeah.
So you moved here as many students because at that moment there was quite big community from...
Yeah. Before the war, a lot of foreigners and Africans studied in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yes.
And where did you study? In Kiev or?
In Dnipro.
In Dnipro?
Yes.
And then war starting, what happened with you? Did you join immediately or?
Yes, of course, I joined.
You joined in the first days of the war?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you basically joined immediately Marines or you
Yeah, currently I'm serving in the 37 Marine Brigade.
Okay.
In the anti-tank platoon.
You're an anti-tank battalion?
Yeah.
And what is your duty there?
Currently I'm the section commander in the anti-tank platoon.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you seen many of your friends from Nigeria join the army force or are you one of the few?
No, I have not seen any.
You have not seen any?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And basically you joined Marines and Marines are usually used in very difficult situations.
Yeah, very, very difficult situations. Yeah.
But was it difficult for you as a medical doctor to adapt into the being soldier? What was the most difficult part in this journey?
Initially, I was serving in the Legion.
The Legion?
Yeah.
That's illegal, okay.
Yeah. Before the Legion, I was in a Ukrainian volunteer battalion in the training center where I specialized with mortars and fire support equipment. And then I started serving in the Legion and then later on in the Marines.
Okay.
Yes.
And what is the biggest difference between of those things? Because as I said, I just assume that it's more brutal in Marine.
Yes, Marine is an elite unit in the armed forces of Ukraine. It's more professional and specialized. We get put in the most difficult sectors of the war front.
Okay.
Yes.
And where you are now, where is your unit now? Where this car goes?
Our unit based in Kherson.
Okay.
Officially we based in Kherson. This car will officially work in Kherson.
Kherson.
On the front lines, yes. It will work during infills and exfills. In our platoon on the front lines, we run out of ammunition almost every day.
You run out of ammunition every day? So
almost every day, yeah. Every night we move out, replace ammunition. If someone injured, get them out. Exfills, infills, yeah.
But in Kherson, I know that your brigade was also part of the Kherson operation.
Yes, Krinka.
Krinka, yeah.
Yes, Krinka. Our brigade assaulted Krinky. Our brigade also defended Krinky.
So because Ukraine is still in the Krinky, isn't it?
Yes, of course.
But looking at the videos, there's almost nothing left.
Of course, the situation is critical. So but we defend Krinka.
Okay.
Yes.
So which means that your team also is involved every day sending boats and pack?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
But how much basically you as an anti-tank battalion, basically commander?
Anti-tank platoon.
How much you actually do exactly this thing? Because in that area tanks are not used or they are used?
In our anti-tank platoon, we work with the SPG-9 weapon system. It's a 73mm recoilless system that can engage enemy up to 7 kilometers.
Okay.
So from 5 kilometers, we can engage Russian armor and also infantry.
Okay.
So most of the time, we're always engaging infantry that try to assault our positions.
Okay, so you actually more destroying infantry than actually
More of infantry
armor.
too. Yeah, more of infantry.
And you get intelligence from the drones?
Yeah, from the drones.
Okay.
The last time, the Russians started to use motorcycles to assault. So then once these motorcycles come together, then we engage.
Okay, and you engage, but this exact thing is it just like very accurate?
Yes, it's accurate. After the first shot, you can get correction of maybe 20 meters or 10 meters, and then we just do that in seconds.
Okay.
Yes.
But the ammunition you're using, it's a spot or it can also divide into pieces?
We have two types of ammunition. The one for the tanks, the hits round, and then the fragmental round.
Yes.
So for now, we're just using the fragmental round called Oge David, OG9.
Okay.
Yes.
Fragmental is much more effective against
Yeah, infantry, yeah.
infantry and the motorcycles.
Yeah, 20 meters radius.
20 meters.
And the enemy will get.
And what is basically how much Russia attacks you and your unit with FPV drones?
Every day, every second.
Every second?
Every day, every second. They're constantly looking at the sector. If any car comes from exfil or infill, they send the FPV drones. And their FPV drones can work up to 10 kilometers. Yes.
Do you feel the difference that US Congress basically released the new funding in end of April? Do you see difference today on the front than it was months or two ago?
First of all, the most important difference I saw is the motivation of Ukrainian soldiers.
Motivation?
Yes. That's the biggest difference. They were more highly motivated because everyone before had this sort of mentality that since yours is not going to help us again, we're basically doomed.
Wow.
But there is more motivation to fight with that support.
So basically, you guys really in the front reading every day U.S. political news.
Of course, yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. So what do you think, and looking your job and in the Kherson area, what is the biggest thing that you need your unit and overall Marines to be more effective?
For us to be more effective in the Kherson front, we need drones, we need vehicles, and we need more of electronic warfare.
Electronic warfare.
Because on the Kherson front, for you to deliver food or ammunition to soldiers on the position, you don't necessarily need to cross the river every time. You can use this by drones.
Oh, you're delivering by drones?
Yeah, we also deliver by drones too.
This is NAFO truck 2.0, of course. Ragnar is from IT, he's always innovating. I remember it was one jammer, then it was two, now it's three jammers to maximize the frequencies.
So yeah.
And I just want to read out the names because this truck is fundraised by 5 people, actually, 2 of them from Estonia. Frank Vilde from Germany, Brandon Mitchell, of course, Pekka Kaljaniemi from Finland, Vatnik Sup, everybody knows, Regina from Estonia, and Janus also from Estonia. They're responsible for fundraising for this truck. And Brandon Mitchell also is connected to Quartermaster, who is a big company, and they decided to support your battalion with medical packs. 5 medical packs. So I hope this truck will be responsible for eliminating a lot of Vatniks.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Thank you all for your support to the Ukrainian Armed Forces. May God bless you all.
Thank you. Slava Ukraini.
Heroyam Slava.
Thank you.
I want to say thank you, Artur's Army, Artur's YouTube channel, for helping us get this truck in support of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Thank you all so much for your support. May God bless you all.
I joined Azov actually 1 year ago. I was just a regular volunteer, just civil guy, but I was pretty big. And I decided, like, what the hell, what I'm doing here? I'm so tired of to be a volunteer. I just want to fight. So I just made a few calls and asked them to help me with the joining. So for now I'm serving in Azov for 1 year. I spent 6 months in the Serbiansky lease Forest. It's forest, correct. I spent 6 months there, and we kind of make some team and moved out from the 1st Battalion and came to Kyiv to create a new battalion, the 6th Battalion.
So this is now the totally new battalion in Azov, 6?
Yes, that is true. And we are trying to gather like a lot of people, a lot of good people to join our other battalion in the Serbiansky list to continue our war.
But what makes like your battalion so special? Is it training? Is it something? Like the fact is that you're always like effective and so on. So what is the secret of Azov?
It's because of people and motivation. You know, the motivated guy could do much more than the guy with a lot of guns but with no motivation.
So everybody in Azov is voluntarily joined?
That's 100% true.
100% Azov soldiers are joined voluntarily?
Yes.
Okay. But
that is true, and what makes us much better, I think, I'm talking about 6th Battalion, that we like worked on our mistakes that we made in the 1st Battalion, and that's much easier to work now because like we know our bad sides, good sides, and just trying to improve good sides and remove the bad sides.
And how much is then basically one of the key parts is analyzing all the time what is the new tactics, how is Russia affecting, is it like you have big analytical teams and which is all the time making changes?
I think that's because we don't have this Soviet Union shit in our army and our forces. And we have this new way of making war, new technological way. We are trying to work with more drones. We actually working within NATO standards.
But what is now, you have seen the last 1 year changes when you joined EU. So as I understand, the drones are more and more dominating now everything.
Yeah, that's good and that's bad because we are also trying to improve this side of our forces. But the Russians are making so much improvements too on their sides with the drones. And it's much harder to work because, for example, like for the last month that I heard, they are using like 5-inch drones, FPV, and you can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
Yes. If they will be close to you, like for 1 meter, you can hear it, but in general, you can't hear it.
And this is
hard.
So this is the FPV drone which goes like 2 kilometers and with a few kilograms of explosive.
Yes.
And how much these jammers that you're using say are actually effective about that? Or what's the best thing against the FPV drone?
How is in English? We can use much more reps. Right?
The jammers?
Jammers, yeah. That's, I think for now, this is the only way.
But also, you told me, I was talking before that also if someone joins the battalion and your unit, you really try to put him the best place, like if he want to be
this. That's 100% true. So it's kind of hiring for the job. It's not hiring for the forces. So for example, if the guy want to be a driver, a drone operator, or some assault unit, or I don't know, whatever you want. You can just call our recruit center and tell us like, I can do this, that, blah, 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 blah. And that's it. And we'll try to find the much more better place that fits you to your qualities. So we are not working as a TCK, you know, that's like just taking the guys and that's it. We're actually trying to satisfy our recruitments with their new job. For example, like, you know, when you want to be a lawyer, you're finishing the law school and then you're trying to work as a lawyer and you're happy, I guess. So the same, the same is with Azov. If you want to be a driver, whatever, hi guys, I want to be a driver. Okay, show us your skills. Okay, I have a driver license, I can drive this vehicle, whatever. Okay, join us. We'll help you with the training, with the medicine, with the shooting, and all of the stuff.
How long is training now for the new people?
For 5 weeks.
5 weeks?
Yes.
Okay, and do you have also some foreigners in your unit or only Ukrainians?
In our 6th Battalion, we have only Ukrainians, but I know that in Azov there are some foreigners that's fighting with us.
How much you need to change the training because of the drone? Because for me, it seems that as every time, like even probably now, there are Orlan somewhere. So this changes all the tactics and everything, isn't it? How you train and how you do the front, the thing on the front line.
I can't talk about tactics, but I can talk about myself. That was kind of new for me, that you actually can go to the toilet.
You can't go.
You can go, because there is always a drone, but there is a good skill that you are trying to do this in a very quick way. You know, you have no abilities to go like you do it at home with the phone, like Instagram, whatever. You just few seconds and that's it. But I think this was the first my scary thought, my fear when I heard the first time FPV drone around myself. It was, oh my god, what the fuck is that? Wow, this is pretty scary. That's why like we need more chambers, we need more other drones, we need more anti-drone guns, you know.
Because you're making now new battalions in the sense that you start to rotate how it is working, like how if it's rotation, how much soldiers are getting actually.
You know, in Ukraine it's much harder to do the rotation because like the war is still going, and it's very hard to change the brigades because, for example, some brigade stands on the positions, they knew the position, they knew the enemy, and so on and so on. So once we have this rotation, you need much more time to teach new brigade how to work on this territory. So I think the good solution is to make the inside rotations, inside the brigade. For example, you're working with a few battalions, for example, and then you create new ones, train them, and during this period you can send your new guys to work with the current battalions that's working here and take some experience, and then you can do much bigger rotation to give some rest for the guys that were fighting and fight with you guys.
Okay, because exactly this is the most dangerous time. Usually in the rotation time there has been very bad things that near Bakhmut and so on. So was when Russia made advancement because of rotation.
They're waiting.
And the new unit maybe just didn't know everything. And I think Ukraine lost few kilometers since there was one rotation between the units.
Yes, that was happened with this forest when we came here for the first time last year in August. During the rotation, I heard that like the previous brigade lost some kilometers. But for now, we clear the territory.
What did you do before the war?
Before the war?
Yeah.
I was just a regular IT guy.
Are you IT? Okay. So you was programming, or what did you do exactly?
Yeah, I'm just
project manager.
Project manager. That is true. That's true. I'm kind of more lazy guy.
Okay. So you turned.
I like to talk and earn money. That's it.
Okay. Okay. How much Russia in that area where you are using FAB bombs, these gliding bombs?
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
But basically there is nothing against the bomb. This bomb is like 1,500 kilograms, and if it
500 kilograms, 1,000 kilograms.
It's just like huge hole. That's it.
They're just a big lottery.
Lottery.
Yes. In the forest. If you hear it, you're alive. You survive. If you don't hear it.
Okay, so basically FPV drones and the gliding FABs are the most dangerous shit.
And tanks, I guess.
But tank, Russia have any more active tank? Like, it seems that they lost so much, isn't it?
They lost so much, but they still have.
So they every day still using tanks also for the attacking?
Not kind of every day, but very often too.
Do you see also those like huge, like, I don't know how to call them, these monsters that they built those things around them?
They started to use it just this spring, I guess, so I was here. I don't see it like on my own eyes.
But in Crimea, do you see also, now is the new trend, these motorcycles?
Yes.
You see them?
Yes.
Okay. So as I understand, actually, it makes sense by motorcycle because you can get fast to the position, but you will get killed. Or what is your view? Is it useful tactic or not?
This is a big question for me too. I can say it looks so funny on the video.
Yes, but it's not funny on the
That's
real life.
it. Have you seen this TV show Sons of Anarchy? No? You can watch just video of soldiers, Russian soldiers. Pretty the same.
Okay.
But this is just funny for me, and I don't know why they do it. Maybe because they lost so much tanks and other vehicles. Who knows?
Okay. Because as I understand, the chance of surviving is very low, almost minimum, if you are in motorcycle.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
Wow.
also a big lottery, but it's just funny, I guess.
Yeah, not funny if you're getting killed indeed.
No, it's funny from our side.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, from your side, and that's fine.
Do you need more cars? Do you need jammers? Like what can?
What's the biggest need?
For now, like we actually kind of good with the drones, but still need them. We're good with the cars, but still need them. If you're talking about some really necessary stuff, it's always about chambers for now, because this is a new wave, I guess, of war. Because who have more things like this can fight much more efficient.
If your FPV drone operators are working, then as I understand, Russia has way more powerful chambers, isn't it? It's
Yes.
so it's basically because they was building this before the war already.
Yes.
Like all of the things and the
They
standards.
were ready. They were ready.
They was ready. And the standards which we are using now was ready, like all of these frequencies, like 700, 800, and so on. It was anyway used, so they have systems before the war, as I understand. Okay. Because the biggest thing is that every car is exactly now has, I think the 700. Exactly, this is 720, 850, 800, and then it's 1000. But now the last thing which we cannot cover yet is that they move to the 400 to 500 frequency. And you never know what you're using. That makes things very difficult. That this is why it says three chambers, because we don't know what you're using and you never know what you need to use. So the chambers, and we talked before, there is not enough producers of them. And not enough even the new frequency, I don't know anyone who does that. 500. Okay, so this is our patch. So you are now also the part of the Sniffing Brigade. We are giving always not only to the cars but also the patch, because exactly this is our volunteers and stuff. And you know what's crazy? When the war started, we already added here exactly drone as well, and it seems that drone is now more and more.
predicted.
Yeah, more and more important, because
Cool.
it's the fastest developing technological war which human history have seen.
Thank you. Also, yeah, we also have some present. For the people, you know that like the Azov is not given for presents our patches.
But this is the new battalion flag.
This is our 6th battalion.
Wow.
We are giving you this flag as our big thank you for the help, for the cars, for support, and I know that you always help during the war. You always helped our brigade, and I hope we will still be in touch and work together. So thank you, people, and Slava Ukraini.
Slava Ukraini. Slava.
I want to say a big thank you to Noel Reports and his subscribers for helping us with this car. Thank you so much, and Slava Ukraini!
War always destroys and kills people. And yesterday was a funeral of one extremely beautiful human being, which started Project Konstantin, and he made video to take this car.
Good morning, dear brothers and sisters of NAFO and Help 99. My name is Peter Fouché. I am a medic in the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Please help us with victory. Please help them to help the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Medical evacuation vehicles. Medical evacuation vehicles. Medical evacuation vehicles. We are losing them all the time. All the time. If it's possible, small armored medical evacuation vehicles. But you know, you guys know me by now. I ain't fussy. God bless you. Do peremohe. Дякую, брате, сестри.
And the most sad is that I never even met him personally. We worked together. He was in Ukraine very long time and helped to save 200 people and make the NGO Project Konstantin. And first, let's a little bit talk about him. First of all, let's tell more people, because I know Pete about his videos and stuff, but tell your story, how you worked with, how you met him and how you worked with him.
I met Pete 2 years ago, but we started to work together 1.5 years with his previous director, Tatiana Millard. I was her right hand, and I did all documents for PK, and from her days I became a co-partner with Peter for Project Konstantin, and I was like in all these supporting deals and all supporting programs which he started. He was our representative face for all the world, while I was here in the ground.
I think that he was an extremely rare person which had so passion when he talked in the videos, and I think that he was one of the best messengers, because as I understand, he not only was in NGO, but he was in frontline all the time, and he was personally involved in evacuations, in medical things and so on, which is extremely rare that usually, you know, people in, and he was officially part of military, as I understand.
Yeah, he went to the contract exactly for this mission. He wants to know deepest needs of military unit. So he wants to see how all stuff works in the front line.
But we have to, like, the sad as it is, we have to always tell what's the legacy and what's the thing. And as I understand, in the last weeks he was working at how to basically help 67 to build new units which will focus now drones. Can you a little bit tell more?
Yeah, today we have some represented our SHUM and guys from this unit. So Peter adopted them for supporting. He understood how it's difficult to build a new brigade, new battalion with new staff, and where the staff have to be bring from. Yeah, so last week Peter built connections with different donators. I have to meet these people for now to continue his dream, to continue his work. And as today our PK family said to me, you have Pete's spiritual near you, but I believe we have his spirit right here. And I want that these guys will be okay, will be in safe, and it depends of our unity and our supporting them.
Yeah, totally. I think that we need to think about what he made good and what he would do in this moment, and we need to be sure that his work will not stop here, and it will be, his dreams will be will be achieved, and also that his dream was that, you know, the world will help more and will help to basically new units which are more effective on destroying the enemy, because the only way how to win the war is that you're effective in destroying enemy. And that's why also all of our people who are following, we definitely will keep helping this unit. How the battalion should look like in the future. So as I understand, it will be fully drone battalion. Can you tell us more this means? And battalion usually should have, like, you know, from 300 to 900 people. So what was his dreams at building? what it should look like after like 3 to 6 months?
At the moment, the battalion is not equipped with both people and equipment at all. This is all in the process with your help. In fact, at the moment, it is at this stage of expansion. In total, the battalion consists of almost 400 people. Accordingly, it is tasked with both reconnaissance and firepower, using both bomber drones and FPV. For example, Kalavrat is a pilot of FPV drones. As for the future, we want to work in a structured way in cooperation with all other units. Because, as Pete said, drones are the future. The Russians have scale. They can supply their units with a huge number of operators without interruption, but with low quality. The quality of their personnel is extremely low, but they outdo by quantity, and we have to outdo by quality. Accordingly, we need the highest quality support, the best trained people. And in the long run, this will take 3 to 6 months. During this time, the battalion that will cover the brigade's line should be fully formed and staffed. How do you find people to do this? Does the brigade provide them, or do you personally have to look for them? We conduct recruitment campaigns and mobilize people directly into our ranks. We work with civilians. For example, IT specialists are very important now. Even gamers are extremely useful now because they are the best pilots. And technicians, for example. These are people who soldered boards, repaired computers, repaired phones. In other words, it's all really very much connected, since most of the equipment is civilian. FPV drones are civilian drones as well.
Так як більшість всієї техніки, вона цивільна. Тобто ті самі FPV-дрони – це цивільні хобійні дрони.
Firstly, they are drones hobby, and they are converted into military equipment. The training is carried out in several stages. Why is it so? There are many civilian volunteer courses. These include, for example, Dronarium and Victory drones. There are quite a few of them. They provide very good basic skills. This training lasts from 10 days to a month. After this training, a person can go for additional official military training, get a military specialty in accordance with their profession. But the most of the training takes place in the unit itself. That is, the soldiers receive basic skills in civilian life, and combat training is provided exclusively within the brigade. Due to the fact that this is an extremely dynamic war and technologies change every 1 to 3 months, we need to adapt quickly to all this. That is why pilots are trained by pilots with combat experience, and this is an eternal process. The general training of a professional combat pilot who is effective on the battlefield takes from 1 month to 3 months. That is, it takes about 3 months for a person to become a good specialist, including combat experience.
I want to also say thank you to Jack Broe and NAFO come to PK, NAFO come to 67, and also NAFO come to PK personally because we have Yana Furi. She is keeping all contacts with NAFO Brigade, with 69 Sniffing Brigade. So we are friends by personally contacts. And thank you guys.
So really thank you. This is for you, your own personal patches.
We would like to express our gratitude for this vehicle, which is very much needed at the front line. Also, thank you for 3 DJI Mavic 3T. These drones are very much needed on the battlefield. Once again, thank you very much. Together to the victory. Glory to Ukraine!
Slava Ukraini!
I have been reading that 47 says that it was built like a startup. Can you explain people who's first time here why 47 Brigade is so special?
In terms of a startup, I would say that we were the first brigade that successfully used the kind of recruitment campaign to enlist more young and motivated soldiers. That's why the staff sergeant of the brigade tried to build on top of it sort of new sergeant corps brigade, sort of, Unfortunately, it's not so easy in wartime, but yeah, it gave us opportunity to kind of train on Western equipment, and basically two things work together. The motivation of the enlisted soldiers and the Western equipment that we were provided.
Mm-hmm. So you are the famous unit which using Bradleys, and tell us experience, because we see that this is probably the best thing at all from NATO. What's your feeling?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's wonderful. Yeah.
But what is the biggest difference? Is it that even if you get hit, people still survive? Yeah?
Right. Yeah. The survivability is the main thing. But basically, there are a lot of advantages to Soviet-style BMPs, but the main thing is that we started them using in combat in Zaporizhia region when we had to kind of break through the enemy lines, and of course they were hit quite regularly because the enemy was waiting. And we were astonished compared to other brigades, the level of survivability that Bradley gave us. The same goes to Leopards that we're fighting alongside, and now Abrams tanks. That's basically the more or less we can talk about any type of Western grade equipment, and that's what is special about that. Yeah.
Because basically you was in Zaporizhia, one of the main brigades which was attacking. How is in this period when you have been the same location, Russian tactics changed, or is it the same all the time?
Yeah, it's always changing. They're sometimes switching from mechanized attacks to infantry and attacks. It depends, I don't know, maybe it depends on the current supply of equipment that they have. But yeah, we see some sort of waves, and also they're using everything they have to create kind of firepower that is hard to contain with. So the new things that you know of is heavy use of aviation bombs on the front line. That's the first thing, and the other thing is FPV drones. Of course, they're using during the daytime for any type of target, and also right now they're using heavily on our axis a night FPV drones with thermal cameras, and they kind of have sort of opportunity to make our logistics much more difficult.
Because we are adding here jammers, and I think that this is from 700 to 1000.
Right.
Do you know what frequencies you're using now attacking you?
Yeah, I know.
Is
500.
500?
Yeah.
Fuck. I don't think that there is any jammer for that yet.
There is.
There is?
Yeah, there is.
You have it?
We've got kind of partial coverage right now.
Okay.
It's not very good, but yeah, we managed to get something that we could get at that time. It's a new thing.
But this is last 2 weeks, or when did
Yeah.
So in last 2 weeks we moved to the 500.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Because the other thing which I heard is now they can use frequency hopping, which makes the things even more difficult.
Yeah, sure. That I'm just talking about our experience. We could measure what they're flying on. So yeah.
Okay, so 500 is something which is more difficult, which means your logistics is all now very under a huge pressure.
Yeah.
Do you also use some like quarter cycles or like some alternative logistics?
Not right now. Not right now. It's not enough time has passed, so we could develop more ways to counter that tactic.
We can really hope that 47 will really be successful with this test car, and also for you.
this car will go now?
This will go in Kharkiv area to Liptsi.
Okay, but you was basically in Kupiansk direction before, or?
Not actually Kupiansk, it was Makivka. We was there for like 2.5 months. We was in Bakhmut area and now in Kharkiv. Yeah.
So is it? So you just today came from Kharkiv, or?
No, I'm wounded.
Oh, you are wounded. Okay.
Yeah. I'm healing myself right now.
Okay, and luckily you seem to be.
My knees.
My knees.
It's my knees.
Was it? And what exactly happened?
Just time happened with my knees, so I need to heal them, and I have shell shock, so that's pretty it.
Okay, so basically some explosion was next to you.
Pretty next to me, yeah, like 2 meters.
2 meters?
Yeah. I was in a trench, and it blew up right outside the trench.
Okay.
So yeah, it was pretty close to me.
How much time it took to recover, to understand what's going on?
In those moments, I was pretty calm. I was ready for this. I know that I'm on the front line, and it will be explosions and stuff. So it was bad after this, because when I came home, I understand that I can move around much, I can think much, and have really bad stuff with my head. So.
And how long time ago it was?
It was 2 months.
2 months ago?
Yeah, 2 months from now.
Okay.
Almost 2 months.
And this was artillery, or was something bigger?
Yeah, it was artillery.
But artillery, as I understand, can work like 24/7.
Oh yeah, sure. But it's not that big of a problem, artillery on the Kharkiv region. More of a problem is CAPs.
CAPs?
Yeah, for sure. They have like thousands of them. I don't know, thousands per hour. So it could be really much.
But CAP is destroying everything. Whatever it is, it destroys.
Yeah, sure. Actually, CAP land near us are like, I don't know, maybe 50 meters. It didn't blow up.
Okay.
So we was really lucky. I just saw it when we moved from this position, and we kind of changing with other unit. I saw this CAP. It was like, I don't know, like I see you right now.
Okay. Because as I understand, Russia has now but doctrine to basically only way how to take land is just destroy, just with a gap and artillery, FPV drones, just destroy everything and then take the land.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, they destroying everything. They use tactics of burned land, so they burn everything that they could. When we can't hold much longer, we retreat, and they put the units on these positions.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this Kharkiv activity goes a little bit down now, because it seems that...
I would say that only problem there is CAPs, because we better than them in infantry, we better than them in artillery and mortars, everything. FPVs, it's just our direction.
The biggest help or change should be how to jam fabs, or how to basically have better air defense to push basically 100%. Russian planes more away from the front line.
We need air defense so much, because the main problem, we always have Orlan in the sky that correcting CAPs. So if we destroy this Orlan, if we destroy super cams, all the surveillance drones, it will be much easier, because they don't have eyes in the skies.
This car will just start to help your team,
of course,
and you will just use it to bringing stuff for the front line, or?
Yeah. The main problem is Russians using Lancet on some Western vehicles and on tanks, on BTRs. We need to move fast and in just simple cars, because they don't use Lancet for simple cars.
Oh, so Lancet is only focusing high targets like artillery and stuff.
Yeah.
But the FPV drone destroys everything.
Yeah, sure, of course. And the jammers will help us with this. So we can feel safer right now.
You just tell your story because you are just, like proud of your dad, but
Oh, I'm so proud. Okay, I don't know what to say. Like, my dad needed 2 cars and NAFO delivered, and now we have 2 cars.
But how, you basically, it's your second campaign.
It's my second campaign. The first one was last summer, and it happened somehow, and I'm so thankful. And this one, I'm so happy.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, this fine.
We're grateful to Diana Kulik, her followers, the NAFO group and the 69th Sniffing Brigade for their help in purchasing this vehicle for combat missions. Compared to the beginning of the war, when we were in the Serebransky forest and when we were in the Chasiv Yar, the situation today has changed. The war in Kharkiv region is completely different. The border is close, there is constant artillery shelling, constant attacks from FPV drones. So we're adapting as best we can, looking for places to hide and destroying the enemy in Kharkiv region. Aviation is working very hard, much more than anywhere else we have seen. They're trying to destroy our positions with controlled bombs, maybe 30 controlled bombs a day. But the most important thing there is to dig deep and hide as soon as there is shelling to save lives. This is a new tactic of the Russians to prevent us from launching a counteroffensive in Kharkiv region and taking back the positions they're currently controlling. They're trying to drop bombs at our positions continuously. But the accuracy of controlled bombs is quite low. Are FPV drones also very active? As far as I know, the best drone operators now in the Kharkiv sector. How are the Russians doing with drones? At the beginning of the Russian invasion in the Kharkiv region, there were a lot of FPV drones on their side. And when we entered the positions, we had some losses in personnel and vehicles. Now the situation is a bit better. We have managed to increase the number of our drones and are now fighting with drones not on our territory, but on the territory of Russia in Belgrade region. They cannot come close to us now and launch drones to reach our positions. 2 months ago, as far as I understand, the Ukrainians did not have so much ammunition for artillery. Does your brigade feel this help in the amount of American and European artillery weapons at the moment? We have had this help since the first days we entered Kharkiv region. That is, there are no problems with artillery, no problems with shells, tank shells, rocket shells at all. I cannot say where it comes from, but there are plenty of weapons. What is the situation with Lancets now? The Russians have very good reconnaissance with Orlan and Supercam drones. And because of this, Lancets have become very dangerous. Have you faced them? There are quite a few Lancets now. We try to hide our artillery in the forests, disguise it so that is not visible. We haven't lost a single artillery unit during the whole period of fighting in Kharkiv region. But we try to shoot down the Lancets with air defense. And here is recently shot down Lancet we brought with us to present to Andrew. And how did you destroy it? With the help of an anti-aircraft gun. A Soviet-made one? Yeah. An old anti-aircraft gun. What's that part? This is the rear fender. The wings are much bigger. Unfortunately, we did not bring the wings with us. They were destroyed. I don't understand how the old Soviet system was able to destroy it. We have large-caliber anti-aircraft guns that shoot very high, and we spend a lot of ammunition to destroy a drone. Because it is very difficult to know what it is flying. If you already know, you can destroy it. We have intelligence and special devices for this purpose. We see where it is flying and shoot ahead. Here comes a Lancet, and we shoot there. On average, we destroy 1 or 2 Lancets per month, several Zelas and other drones. It is very difficult, but sometimes we succeed.
Andrew, you wanted to talk. I will give the microphone to you then.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you for everything you do. On behalf of Mercado Media, my subscribers, everybody that supports, thank you significantly.
Thank you.
Keep doing the work. Anything that you need, anything we can provide, we would be more than happy to do so.
We would like to express our gratitude for the vehicle.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
If you need to do more videos, then you can do it now. Yeah. And also I will give our patches, so for you.
Thank you.
And also for you. We
understand that the operation in Kharkiv region is quite successful. We believe that the Russians will give up their positions. And we see that the armed forces of Ukraine can destroy the enemy not only on Ukrainian territory, but also deep inside Russian territory. We believe that every day you will liberate more and more territories. Thank you to Mercado Media and all the subscribers of his channel for the vehicle. It will allow us to effectively and successfully carry out combat missions in Kharkiv region. I hope this vehicle will help us win sooner. Glory to Ukraine!
Slava Ukraini!
During a war, there are no predictions or forecasts for the future. There are trends. Trends make it clear to us that drones are beginning to dominate all domains: air, land, and water. I think this trend will only increase exponentially. I see that the NATO army does not yet understand the new reality. And now I realize that if they want to create modern brigades, they need to learn how to work with drones right now. The training must be up to date. What about training new drone operators? First of all, Ukraine has the most advanced experience on the battlefield. And secondly, we have someone to train on, the Russians. We work with many types of drones, including many manufacturers. But what differs us from other countries is that we can adapt very well. For example, NATO countries have never thought of dropping a mine from an agricultural drone. And we have come up with this idea. This is a war of technology. And the problem is that Russians and Ukrainians will constantly copy technologies and tactics from each other. What technologies do you think the Ukrainian army needs to have to be much stronger on the battlefield? There is a technology race going on, and we are very active in this regard. We are not catching up with them, but they are catching up with us. They are figuring out how to counter us, inventing new means and ways to counter our best technologies. Because we have the best people, the best minds, and the best technology. We have created a new institutional organism that will lead our country to victory.
Thank you so much for your helping. Thank you, with honor. I will also give our patch. One second, this is my patch. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Hello, subscribers of Broe. We received this amazing car for Unmanned System Forces today. Thank you very much, guys, for your support. And Slava Ukraini!
The Kraken unit is working in the most important areas in the most difficult battles. You've been in the Kharkiv sector recently and have been there from the very beginning of the border breakthrough when they started attacking. Yes. And you were there near the village of Krasne. Tell us about the battle in this area of the front line. Were you being attacked for 16 hours without stopping? The first small arms battle started at 5 o'clock in the morning. The enemies were moving in small groups. At the first fire contact, we fought back and the enemy suffered losses. Then, probably around 11 o'clock, the main assault operations by the enemy forces began. They tried to surround us, but we made a decision that we would defend ourselves and we need to take counterattack actions.
Прийняли на себе рішення, що ми будемо оборонятися і нам потрібно робити контрштурмові дії. З-за того, що нас обійшли з флангів.
Due to the fact that we were flanked, my group was in a shelter. We had to get out of this shelter somehow because we had only one way out. We decided that we would not surrender. We would accept the fight and conduct counterattack actions. On top of that, I invited friendly artillery fire on myself. As a result, the enemy retreated from our lines to a distance of probably 100 to 150 meters.
На дистанцію там, напевно, 100-150 метрів.
This gave us the opportunity to get out of the encirclement. We waited until the evacuation team came to pick us up. It arrived, and in this way we left these positions, which were already on fire at the time, and were under constant enemy artillery fire. Did you have any wounded or killed comrades? In general, our task was to reinforce the forces of neighboring units. No one from my group was wounded or killed, and the guys from the reserve who helped us had 1 killed and 4 wounded. How many orcs were coming at you? I can't give you an exact number, but it was a predominant number, because it felt like that in the small arms battle. I think more than a dozen for sure. We didn't have enough communication with the neighboring units that were on the flanks at that time, and that was the main problem. It was not so dangerous that they would outflank us. The bigger problem was that there was no communication between the units.
So basically the one thing which is exactly that if you lose communication, it's absolutely can be like fatal. And that's probably what Russia was from the day one basically was preparing, not only in this operation, but because communication is everything in the NATO basically system, that you communicate and you do and if you lose communication, you're fucked. But they had luck to just restore somehow the Starlink, and then they got information out that yes, we are leaving, and this battle, you know, it was surprising that they really didn't lost anyone, and he's still in rehabilitation.
I'm grateful to Jake Broe for the vehicle.
I'm Andrew. I'm from Brave Fund, Ukrainian fund. We already 2 years in the 22nd of July. So now we're fundraising for these beds. It's Brave beds that produce in Ukraine. It's also stretcher, so it can be used for the evacuation, and we bring it to try to put it into the evac, and it can be also the 3rd floor, so we can evacuate 2-3 guys at the same time.
So you're putting it into the moving car, like whatever,
yeah,
like
can.
a bus? Okay.
Yes, we can. So now we have request for 40 of these sets for the 49th Assault Battalion.
Mm-hmm.
We have request from Azov for 100 of these sets, and for 1,000 of these sets from the Kherson regional and city authorities.
Our medics are engaged in evacuation directly from the battlefield to stabilization centers. How long have you been in the army? For 9 years. Has anything changed for you during this time, or has your work remained the same? It has changed because technologies such as FPV drones and drops have appeared, and this makes our work worse, both in time and in safety. Someone told me that 60% of soldiers are wounded by drones and 20–25% by artillery today. What do you think about this? Yes, the most injuries and deaths are caused by drones. Are such injuries specific to your work? For example, is there a difference in injuries between a small bomb weighing 2–3 kg and a large artillery shell weighing 15–20 kg?
Но если там маленький, там большой, там бомба, это делает вообще другие вещи для делать.
Now, it all depends on the part of the body that was hit. Head, lower limbs, upper limbs. That is, the specifics of providing assistance in principle have not changed. That is, just like in case of artillery shelling, there can be a small shrapnel wounds. And in the case of FPV, there can be a large area of damage. And it can be vice versa. Due to the large number of drones, do you need to set up stabilization points further from the front line? Or are 3 to 5 kilometers enough for relative safety now? The distance can be very different as the front line is dynamic. Therefore, the distance can increase or decrease. On average, our crew is 2.5 to 3 kilometers away from the contact line. What are the most important things for medics now? The most important things are vehicles of different classes, but they must have all-wheel drive. Also, a military vehicle should be slightly higher than a civilian vehicle. And electronic warfare equipment. This is what medics need the most. These are Estonian medics. They have brought the vehicle here themselves. Before the war, I was engaged in logistics, sales and transportation. But when the war started, of course I had to go defend my country and fulfill my civic duty, as it written in the Constitution of Ukraine. On the first day of the war, I joined the army and wanted not only to fight, but also to develop in the army. So I wanted to climb the career ladder higher and higher. The best place to do this is in special forces, including the Omega. You have been fighting since the beginning of the full-scale invasion. Are there any changes in combat operations for you? If before it was more trench work, it is defensive. Now the work is more surgical. We're surgeons who make right, clear cuts to ensure that we move towards victory. As far as I understand, intelligence and information are the most important things for you. This is very difficult. First, you need to understand where to conduct intelligence. It can also be unsuccessful. There are many nuances. And the chance of launching an operation after reconnaissance is rather low, isn't it? Planning is important. Long planning. Everyone must know their role in the operation. And one quick strike. A special operation can be of different kinds, including one to find out information. It is not always necessary to kill the enemy, as they say. You can just find out where he is. It is important to always know and calculate your strength. Know how to use force correctly and how to plan the next step. How will this car be useful for you? A car is a movement. A car is a maneuverability. A car is protection. If a car has electronic warfare, it is FPV protection. If there is FPV protection, it makes it possible to drive closer to the contact line without fear for your life. You can be sure that you will return home tomorrow. I also have a present for you. Our chevron and battle flag. And this is for you. Thank you. I would like to express my gratitude to the special Kherson Cat channel and its subscribers for the vehicle, which will perform critical tasks at the front line. Glory to Ukraine! Glory to heroes! Are Landsats dangerous now? We were hit by a Landsat several times. We have not personally lost any vehicles because the Landsat did not hit us. We are now experiencing the effects of the Russian Krasnopol projectile. This is a new projectile used by the Russian army using laser illumination from the Zala UAV. This is the only thing that impressed us. Do you know how it works technically? Are there any maximum distances? Technically, because we were told that either Zala or one of the enemy's reconnaissance drones takes off, and it indicates with a laser the point where a projectile should land. Whoa, I've never heard of this. Does your unit use new NATO artillery systems? No, we don't. We have NATO artillery in our brigade, but it doesn't work very well. Really? Yes. What are the problems with it? Repair problems. A self-propelled artillery unit does a very powerful shot that eventually damaged the unit due to its strength. Of course, it needs to be maintained. It has to be maintained constantly. The Soviet artillery systems are better not because of their strength or convenience, but because we have the opportunity to get spare parts for these guns. What is the most important thing for your unit or your brigade to work more efficiently? What is the most important thing for soldiers now? Drones, electronic warfare systems. In general, I would like to say that everything we work with, even these drones, electronic warfare systems, are all civilian things adapted for military use. That is, I would like to see more modern, more effective military. I emphasize military means of targeting the enemy. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. We have a gift for you. We will present it to you on behalf of the Fouché group. This is a brigade award. This is from the division commander. We're passing all this on to you. We are sincerely grateful to Jake Broe's subscribers and his channel for the car. Glory to Ukraine! Are you currently using only Soviet equipment, or do you already have NATO equipment? What does your brigade use? We have already run out of Soviet equipment, so to say. Yes, we use NATO equipment more. Do you feel any global difference between Soviet weapons and Western weapons? It is more modern, it is more convenient to use. In this case, the advantage of NATO equipment, namely artillery, is that they already have computerized coordinate calculations. That is, we have now switched to the NATO system, and accordingly, the accuracy increases many times over. That is, the operator can more accurately calculate the coordinates that we, the scouts, transmit to him, and hit the target not with 50 shells, but with 1 or 2. This means that the quality of the hit increases many times over. Now drones are used everywhere on the battlefield. There are a lot of them. In your brigade, how many people are already working as drone operators? And is this number growing? A year ago, we started as a company of combat UAVs. That is, we had reconnaissance, we had combat UAVs like FPVs. Now all this has grown into a battalion, which means 4 companies. According to NATO standards, this is already equivalent to an infantry battalion. We have recently become a separate branch of the military. That is, it is all developing very quickly, and it is very promising. If we draw an analogy, drones are now like World War I airplanes. That is, it is still a very early stage, but it is developing very, very rapidly. What happened a year ago and now are completely different things. We have made a very big step forward in terms of Mavics, FPVs and bombers. Different people come to us. There are a lot of guys who come and say, I want to learn. That is, there are a lot of people who want to do this. These are enthusiasts who implemented it all even on their own. Every day we look for something new. Every day we experiment. New equipment, new antennas, accessories and so on. And it works. Now we're working professionally. That is, every second FPV already hits the target. Every third drone drop also hits the target. This already indicates a high level of training. If earlier it was all the rule of thumb, now people are already approaching the tasks professionally. So we're not losing to the Russians here. I'm grateful to Jake Broe and all the subscribers of his channel for the vehicle. It will serve us faithfully for logistics, for the delivery of ammunition, for the transportation of personnel. Thank you very much. Glory to Ukraine!
So guys, you saw that they so amazing units, the reality from the front line, and you also saw what is needed, how we can be better. And I think the most strongest message was Ukraine needs much more and effective jammers, because FPV drones are already now the most dominating force. And that's exactly what we, our team, the Sniffing Brigade, Help 9 will work in the next weeks and days, how we can deliver more effective help for Ukrainian soldiers. And you guys are part of that. Please like, comment, tell how we can help. Be active, spread the word. Thank you guys. Thank you, NAFO.